there. Hi, good morning. Hi. Happy Saturday. I've got a little music going. Hi. Hi, everyone. Say hi to me in the chat. Good morning. Hi. Travi, how are you? Good morning. Wow. Hi, people. Hi, good morning, everyone. It is DJ of Delightful DTV, and wow, I decided to come live this morning to have a chat with you all about something that's been on my mind. You're going to see me more often just popping up and doing these lives because I really want to connect with all of you more often, just spontaneously. So just roll with me. I know I'm doing different things, but I appreciate you so much. And yes, your girl is here this morning. I see already a few folks in the chat. Darius Smith says, good morning. Hi, good morning, Darius. How are you? Travis says, I'm great. Hope you are too. I am. And Chinoso says, hi, my sweetheart. Oh, Chinoso, that's so sweet. Good morning, Mary. I have seen you everywhere, girl. How have you been? So good to see you in the house. I have a little bit of a lunch date later today with a friend. So your girl got a little dress today. But before I go, I wanted to share my thoughts on whether the diaspora is bringing hate to Africa. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because, I've been peeking, I've been looking in the YouTube streets, and I see that there is a lot of beefing going on lately on the continent and among folks even here in the States that are passionate about Africa. And as a Black American, I do feel that I have a responsibility to speak up and say, hey, I'm starting to see some trends in this community that we need to maybe be aware of and consider the long-term impact. Because after all, the reason why so many of us are looking to return to Africa is so that we can return to self, so that we can be the people that we were meant to be. And what I'm seeing, and let me know in the chat if you're seeing something similar, what I'm seeing is that a lot of Black Americans are taking their old habits learned in the US, learned in the islands. Those old habits are going to Africa, and it's causing a lot of friction. Guys, I never thought the day would come where I would see world star hip hop Africa. I never thought the day would come when I would see folks in the diaspora making beef videos towards one another. And it breaks my heart because what I thought we were doing was going back to Africa to connect with the culture, to connect with the people. And I'm just not seeing that. iMovement says, hi, DJ. It's good to see you. It's good to see you as well. So if you are seeing this beef culture in the diaspora movement, I want you to drop a 1 in the chat for me. I need you to let me know if I'm alone. Am I the only one who's seeing this? If you are seeing more tension, let me know in the chat. And I'm going to tell you why this is dangerous. So the first reason why this is dangerous is because the failed ideologies that did not work in America are not going to work in Africa. I'm going to repeat that. The failed ideologies that did not work in America are not going to work in Africa. And you may say, DJ, well, what do you mean by failed ideologies? I'm talking about Pan-Africanism, B1, the pro-Black identity. For my African brothers and sisters, you may not be familiar, but these are ideologies that have taken root in the US that started around the mid-70s, and some of them go back even further. But these are ideologies that the Black community has been using with not much success. For example, the ideology of Pan-Africanism says that all Black people are the same no matter where they are in the world, and that we all have the same goals and desires. There is no distinction. Now, if you've traveled, you know that this kind of ideology does not work and is not practical. Why? Because there are so many different beautiful cultures of Black people. You can talk about the Igbo, you can talk about the Hausa, you can talk about the Fulani, you can talk about the Yoruba, you can talk about the Habesha. There are so many beautiful cultures. There are so many beautiful ethnic groups. And when you put them all into one pot, you are erasing the individuality of those groups. The concerns of an Igbo man may not be the concerns of a Hausa man. The concerns of a Fulani person may not be the concerns of a Mandinka. We can all come together and love one another, of course, but that doesn't mean that we have to erase the beautiful cultures that are on the continent. And what I see with Black American folks that are going to Africa is that they have bought into the ideology of race, which race is a social construct. And they're bringing the American interpretation of race to Africa and saying, hey, forget that you're Fulani. Hey, forget that you're Mandinka. Hey, forget that you're Hausa. You're just Black. And that doesn't sit well with me. We need to elevate those cultures and learn from those cultures. Let's learn about the Fulani culture. Let's learn about the Hausa culture. We do not need to take this ideology of Blackness, which was created, right? It is a created concept. We don't need to take this ideology and force it upon our African brothers and sisters. If you're understanding what I'm saying, let me know in the chat. I'm going to read some comments and see what's going on. iMovement says buffering. If I'm buffering, let me know. Kwesi says Pan-African is a fantasy. Wow. Kwesi says, I even did a video on it myself. All Africans are not the same. Exactly. All Africans are not the same. Ken, hi Ken. This is my first time seeing you in the live show, so welcome. Ken says, I feel the diaspora needs to feel their trauma before they come to Africa. Exactly, Ken. That's what we're seeing. That's a super good point. What we're seeing is that African Americans are taking the trauma, the pain, and the ideologies that did not work in our communities in America, and we're taking those to Africa. And we're saying, hey, Africans, we know better than you what will work here. Forget about your lineage. Forget about your ancestral traditions. Just accept this American ideology that your skin color is the only thing that matters. And guys, this is causing so much tension because now I'm seeing Black Americans that are saying, well, hey, when I came to Africa, I thought it was just going to be one big party and it was going to be one big melting pot. But when I actually got to Africa, I found out that certain traditions mean that you behave a certain way. And so I really just want to encourage the folks that are in this space to please understand that the hate that grew out of certain ideologies and certain movements do not need to be taken to Africa. We have to respect the host countries that we are going to. We are guests in those countries. Yes, you can be home, but at the same time, it's so critical for long-term success to know the traditions, the cultures, the languages, and to not try to wipe those out. Now, what I'm seeing crop up is when Black Americans get to these countries, when they get to Gambia, when they get to Ghana, when they get to these places, they say, oh, why are the Africans allowing the Chinese to build here? Oh, why do I see African women married to men who are not Africans? Oh, these Africans need to be educated. They need to be educated that Blackism and Pan-Africanism and B1 is the only way. And do you know what that comes across to me? That comes across as a form of paternalism. And paternalism is when a group of people think that they know what's best for an entirely different group of people. A Black American cannot go to Ghana, to Gambia, to Nigeria and tell the Ghanaians or the Gambians or the Nigerians what is best for their country. This is creating an isolationism mindset, and it's not healthy, and it's not what this movement is about. I, for one, think that Black Americans have as much to learn from Africa as we have to give. But if we go there with this mindset that we know everything and that we're going to school these ignorant Africans on who their enemies are, who is a Black American to tell an African who their enemy is? Guys, if I'm off the mark, let me know in the comments. But a Black American who has been sheltered in America, who has lived in the systems of America, now knows who the enemies of Africa are? I believe that that is a dangerous mentality, and I don't think it's going to be successful in the long run. If you think it's going to be successful, let me know in the chat. But we have seen that movements like these typically fail. And that's where the diaspora movement is headed, guys. It's headed for failure if we don't find a way to respect the authority of Africans to determine their own destiny. Coming with ideas is beautiful. Coming with technology, perfect. Coming with better ways of doing things, awesome. But when you are coming to wag your finger at Africans on their own land and to tell them who their enemies are and what is best for them, I have to tell you, I don't think you're going to find it very sweet. Let me catch up on some comments and then I'll get back to what I'm saying. iMovement says 1. Hi to the folks joining the chat. Diana Soleil says 100 with a check mark. Thank you so much, Diana. Diana says totally agree. And Kwesi says, Africans are closed-minded, to be honest. They are insular by nature. Absolutely. Africans are insulated, but that's no different from many cultures. For example, if you look at Middle Eastern cultures, the Iraqis, the Assyrians, the Saudi, they are very insulated, closed cultures, meaning they are not very open to newcomers. And what I would say, Kwesi, my Ghanaian brother, I believe you are. I believe you are from Ghana. And my Ghanaian brother, I would say to you, Africans are often much more welcoming and open than those cultures that I have encountered, for example, in the Middle East. Try to not be Iraqi and get into Iraqi culture. Try to not be Saudi and get into Saudi culture. You will find out what it means to be insulated, because in those cultures, you will not walk out with your feet. Those cultures do not marry outside of their groups. Those cultures do not accept outsiders, even some from their own ethnic tribal areas will not accept others from those areas. So I will say Africans are actually very advanced in that regard. Let's see. World Dreamer says, you are saying the fact. Thank you. And that's my thing. I was just watching and just, peeking. And I said, wow, Black Americans, you haven't even been in Africa long enough to learn the languages. Right? You're in different countries and I don't even see you learning the languages of the people. I don't see you sitting at the feet of the elders and learning the history. And maybe I'm just different because I actually want to learn the cultures. I actually want to study the stories that have been passed down, sitting at the feet of the griots, learning. And what I see is that a lot of Black Americans are coming in like bulldozers. Sit down, shut up, let me tell you what's best for you, Africa. Am I the only one? And I said, wow, I thought you were going to Africa to learn. I thought you were going to Africa to connect. I thought you were going to Africa so that you could return to your heritage. But it seems to me that many are going to Africa for this. You know what that is? Money, l'argent, dinero. I see that many are going to Africa and they don't even want to hear anything about the indigenous cultures. They don't want to hear anything about how the Igbo came from the north and settled in Nigeria. They don't want to hear anything about the proper history of the countries where they are guests. You are a guest in these countries. And if you don't understand that, I don't think it's going to work out. Let me check some comments. Hi, I see more people are joining the chat. Good morning. It's your girl DJ from Delightful D. I am so glad to see you all. If you are just joining, say hello to me. Let me know where you're from. Everyone is welcome on this channel. And let me know what you think about what I'm saying, because I am open to correction. If you think that I am incorrect, I am open to hearing your perspective. But I can tell you, I am seeing some very dangerous behavior patterns from Black Americans that are going to Africa. And this is going to cause a major culture clash if something is not done. Positive Vibes says, this is the real truth, DJ. I see this. Bulldozers indeed. Ken, that's a good point. Ken, you are on fire. Ken says, savior mentality won't be compatible with the locals. Exactly. I see that where Black Americans believe they are saving Africa. And my question is, how are you saving Africa when your own communities are in disrepair? How are you saving Africa when we had hundreds of people shot and killed in Chicago in senseless drive-by shootings, shot and killed in Atlanta in senseless violence, 7-year-old girls, little girls who can't even sit in the drive-thru at McDonald's without bullets flying through their windows. So you mean to tell me you can't help your own people right here in the United States, but you have all the answers for countries that you know nothing about? Is that what you're telling me? I want to know. Because there are around 40 million African Americans in the United States. So 40 million, that means that's enough people for your plans and your ideologies to take root, is it not? So how are you going to go to this vast continent with hundreds of languages and cultures and traditions and take the same mentality that is destroying your community right here in America? How are you going to do that? Positive Vibes says, get rich quick, pretending to help the locals. Boom. Boom. Positive Vibe says the locals are waking up to this. How so? Positive Vibes, let me know what you mean by that. If anyone wants me to drop the link for you to share your thoughts, for you to come on, I will do so. But definitely want to hear about what you mean when you say the locals are waking up to this, because I would love to hear that perspective. Thank you. Karma is a witch. Says most are going for the lower cost of living. Interesting. Now that's a good point, and that's valid. And here's my thought on that. If you're going for the lower cost of living and you can find a better life for yourself in one of the many countries on the continent of Africa, I am all for that. That is the nature of humanity. We want to seek out the best places for us and our people, right? No matter what group you're from, you want to live well. Here's my thing. Why not be honest? Why not be honest? Why not go to Africa and let the folks know, hey, I'm coming here because I want the good life. I want a better life. What America is offering me, I don't find that sufficient anymore. So I want to be here among you. Why not take that approach as opposed to this isolationist, hard mentality? And I'm monitoring my words very carefully because I don't want to project my thoughts onto others, right? And I don't want to paint everyone with one brush, but it is undeniable that there is a specific cohort that are going to Africa with violent mindsets. And it's beginning to become difficult for me to tell the difference between the Black Americans that are going and the people that they claim are colonizers. I honestly am finding it difficult to tell the difference. What is the difference between the Black Americans that are going and the people that they call colonizers? You're going to snatch up land at the cheapest rates that you can. That's what other folks do. You're going to get as many women as you can without marriage, which is what a lot of other folks do. Some are going for tourism. I'm not going to say that word on YouTube, but you know what I'm talking about. Some are going to sample the goodies. Oh, the Nigerian woman. Oh, the Ethiopian woman. Oh, I want a sample of that. Oh, I want a sample of that. Oh, let me taste that. You're not going to embrace the people. You're going to get whatever it is that you want. And you're doing it with such a self-righteous mentality. I mean, you all know I love my people. And I know my people. I love my people and I know my people. And sometimes I just want to be like, please stop. Please stop. Because people can see through the facade of self-righteousness. Let me catch up on some comments and then I'll share some final thoughts. Someone says they are looking to marry to gain immigration status quicker. Interesting. World Dreamer says, I have seen some acting like that, wanting African people to abandon their way of life and cultural practices. Exactly. That is what I'm saying. The Black Americans are telling the Africans, yes, we can come together, but only if you accept my ideology. Only if you accept B1. Only if you accept Pan-Africanism. Never mind that none of these ideologies have never worked in the Black community in America. Never mind that you're running from your own communities. Hello? Holla if you hear me. Holla if you hear me. So you're running from your own communities that you have destroyed. You're running from your own women that you have run through. Oh, let me say something about that. I see so many Black American men that are talking about, oh, they love the culture of African women and they love how modest and demure African women are. Oh, they're so modest. Oh, they're so sweet. Oh, they stay in the house. Not like those bad American women. No, not like them. But African women, what they don't tell you is they're running through their own women. They're putting their own women in rap videos with their butt cheeks out. They're telling their women that they want them to drop it like it's hot. They're telling their women that they want them to be baby mothers. And then after the Black American women submit to this dysfunction, after the Black American women submit to this chaos, after the Black American woman puts the thong on, after she takes off her clothes, after she has sex before marriage, then the Black American man runs from responsibility. Hey! Oh, I need me a virgin, oh. I need me a good African woman, oh. Really? But when you're in Atlanta, you're at the strip club. When you're in Chicago, you're at the strip club. You don't want a virtuous, good woman? My African brothers and sisters, they're running game. Somebody holla if you hear me. Let me catch up on some comments. D Jones says, hello D. I want to say thank you, D. D has really been checking on your girl and really making sure that, you know, she followed up with me. I know I took a little vacation, but D, I want to let you know that your comments really are so encouraging for me, and thank you for all of your support. I appreciate that. Positive Vibes says, holla. Holla. Okay. Holla if you hear me. Miss Janice. Hey, Miss Janice. I see you working it in that profile picture. Okay, girl. I don't have hair to flip it, but okay. Miss Janice says, dollars. Yes, absolutely. Dollars. Darius Smith says, not all of us Americans. 100% correct, Darius. You are 100% correct. Not all Americans, right? And so that's what I mean when I say I'm not going to paint all Americans with the same brush. But Darius, I would challenge you to say that it's more than enough Americans. It's overrepresented for the amount of Americans that are going there. And I see that we have some new folks that have joined the chat. So if you're just joining the chat, hello, habarikani, nangadef, bonjour, como se va, buenos dias, bienvenidos a mi casa. I am DJ and this is Delightful DTV. We're having a little bit of real talk. Say hello to me, drop where you're from, and you are welcome here. Darius Smith says, I'm hollering over here. Yes, because here's my thing, Darius. You're telling Black American women to shake it. You're telling them to share it all. You're contributing to this dysfunctional culture. And then when you see the consequences and the results of the dysfunction, you want to run to another man's country. You want to run. You're like Usain Bolt. You want to run to another man's country. And you want to take advantage of his women too? You want to make his women baby mothers too? You want to find the strip clubs too? I thought you were going to Africa to get your original culture. But you're looking for the strip clubs. You're looking for where the party's at. And if you are, hey, that's fine. We're all human. But why not just say that? Why make it so self-righteous, like you're coming to save Africa, when really you're coming to have a little fun? When really you're coming to taste a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Let me check some of these comments. Nitra J says, you preaches, sis. Hey, Nitra, thank you so much. D Jones says, thank you. You're welcome, Miss D. Lance Scurvy says, hollering, #hollering, drop that hashtag, yes. Darius Smith says, these things are no reflection of me at all. Absolutely, Darius. Mamadou, bonjour Mamadou, bienvenue à ma chaîne. He says, hi DJ, how are you? Je suis très contente, merci beaucoup. iMovement says, land grabbing, depriving, and outpricing locals. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So think about this, guys. Think about this, guys. If you come to Africa and grab up all the land, right? You are saying you do not care about the children of those Africans who may want land in the future. You're not saying that you're happy to be home. You're saying you want to grab up all the land as cheap as you can get it. Instead of saying, let me give a little bit of extra to my African brothers and sisters because I know the American dollar goes further. Let me put a little something on that. Let me add a little on top. You don't do that. No, you don't do that. You come with your money grabbing mentality. Your scarcity value mentality. When you have a scarcity mindset, see, it starts in the mind. When you have a scarcity mindset, you don't believe there's enough for everyone. So you grab, you take, and you hoard. Oh, I'm grabbing this land for me and my people only. Oh, you got to be a part of my group to get this land. What? I thought this was for all Black people. I thought this was for all of the diaspora. You know them by their fruit. Trevor says, you are smashing the nail on the head. Thank you so much, Trevor. I appreciate that. Miss Jenna says, DJ, yes, indeed, I am her. Patricia. Hi, Patricia. It's so good to see you on the channel again. I hope everything is going well. She says, but I think we should speak positive and do positive things into existence of all people. Absolutely. Darius says, there are a lot of good Black American men. Sometimes we are overlooked because some of the women don't respect themselves as well. Some want ratchet culture. Ooh, that sounds like a good topic for another day. We may have to get into more of that, Darius. Sonike Imperial Dynasty. Hi. Continental Africans are very patient. Ooh, hit the nail. Ooh, this comment. Pay attention. Continental Africans are very patient and very good observers. They are just studying them at the moment. Sonike is right. The Africans are watching the Black Americans and they're learning their behavior patterns. They're learning their strengths. They're learning their weaknesses. And the Africans, believe me, once they have collected enough data to determine what to do with the Black Americans that are coming, you all are going to see some major changes. Listen to the brother Sonike. He's saying Africans are very patient, which is not something that we typically are in America. And they are very good observers. They're peeking. They watching. And what Black Americans don't understand is that Africans are clocking your moves. See, DJ does her research. DJ does her research. And I watch on a lot of different areas, pages, websites, and I see what they are saying about Black Americans. And I have to tell you, it's not good. You think that you're getting over on them. You think that you are outsmarting them. You think that it's like taking candy from a baby. But when the Africans decide to rise up, a lot of Black Americans are going to be running back to America. Because legislation, I'm not talking about neighbors, I'm talking about laws. I'm not talking about music, I'm talking about power. When those laws come down on you, restricting your movement, restricting your ability to purchase land, restricting your ability to become a citizen, then you're going to find out that Africans were onto the game all along. And the hustlers and the pimps, the ones that are coming to pimp African women, the ones that are coming to take advantage of war-torn communities, the ones that are coming to take advantage of third world countries. Do you realize how weak you have to be to go to a third world country and then beat your chest? Do you realize how weak you have to be to go to a third world country and then act like you are something? Instead of coming with a humble mind, you want to be the colonizer. You want to be. Let me catch up on some comments. All right. Okay. So Ryan Lawrence says Africa seems to be more focused on culture than business and wonder why they can't progress like the rest of the world. Every other country puts business first and culture second. Folks in the chat, what do you think of what Ryan said? If you agree with Ryan, let me know in the chat. And if you disagree, let me know as well. Blue Collar Brother says, what's up, peeps? Hit that thumbs up. Yes, Blue Collar Brother. Hi, it's so good to see you. I want to give a special shout out to Blue Collar Brother. He sent a $10 Cash App in support of the channel, even when I wasn't making videos. And I want to say that means so much to me, Blue Collar Brother. I really do appreciate you just looking out for me and always like being supportive. It just means the world to me. Thank you so much. And I don't know, I might have to make you a moderator if I keep seeing you on these lives. I'm getting more familiar with you, so I will definitely have to do that. And I will say, I will take this time. Let me come here to say if you would like to support the channel and to keep this quality content going, the Cash App is hashtag CherieDJ. No amount is too big or too small, and it really just lets me know that you appreciate the work that I do. If you prefer PayPal, the PayPal is add_give@outlook.com. And if you would like to send me any stories or topics that you would like me to cover, especially along with a donation, you can send that to add_tv@outlook.com. Also, something new that I'm doing on the channel, if you have a specific topic that you would like me to do a video about, you can hit my cash tag with a $5 or $10 donation along with the subject that you want me to cover. All right, let's get back to the comments. Gambian Chefs says, how much money are they going with? It's all about self-development. Boom. Miss Janice, DJ was saying, I love the haircut. Ew. Are y'all feeling DJ's haircut? Hey. If I have any Africans in the chat, tell me what you call this haircut in your language. Thank you so much, Janice. I was so scared to go with it, but now I feel so free that I don't know. I'm really loving it. Thank you, girl. Sonike gave a clap. Thank you. Fanta, my girl, I miss you. DJ, there's enough land for everyone. Africa is a virgin continent, so there's enough land for everyone. You can blame it on the AA because Africans themselves are selling land to them. I think you mean you can't blame it on the AA, right? Yes, there is enough land for everyone, and that is why I want Black Americans to begin to move away from this scarcity mindset. You don't have to take this poverty mindset of there's only so much, so I have to grab everything right now from everyone. No, you don't have to take that mentality. Now, Fanta is a Liberian girl, and she says you can't blame it on the AA because Africans themselves are selling land. Now, chat, what do you think about what Fanta is saying? Because she's saying it's the Africans who are selling the land. So you may have the Black Americans who are land grabbing, but they couldn't land grab if it weren't the Africans who were selling. So my African people, tell me what you think about that. What role do Africans play in this saga? Thank you for the great comment, Fanta. Sonike says, you got that right. Africans are not against AA. No, I never said Africans are against AA. I said that Africans, per the comment earlier, are observing Black Americans. And if they are seeing behaviors that will be destructive, you will see legislation come down. You will see it more difficult to get visas, citizenship, etc. That is a fact. Let's see. Mamisa, bonjour, monsieur. Comment ça va? Bienvenue à ma chère. She says, when are they raising up? Why haven't they made those laws against the main European pimps? Ooh, that's a great question. She says, we are loving the AA. I love to hear that. Ike, how are you? You have to come on sometime. I want to hear from my Nigerian Ike as well. He says, I love the haircut crush. Oh, thank you. You're making me feel so good. Let's see. Let me see. Oh, I have to catch up on comments. Okay, 1 second. Let me catch up. Okay. Ryan doesn't know what he's talking about. Africans are the biggest entrepreneurs on earth. Okay. Janice says, agree, it starts at home. Alex, I can't put your comment on the screen because it has profanity, and so we follow all community guidelines here. But Alex did say that was an unintelligent comment by Ryan. Chris Eromobor says, God bless you, DJ. You're telling the truth, unlike some others. Interesting. Let's see. Alex says, Africa is known for its entrepreneurs because finding jobs is hard. Okay, got it. Okay, let me catch up so I don't lose track. Okay. Land reform and deportations on the horizon. Wow. Let's see. He says, I've gotten worse customer service in America. Tawanda says, I appreciate your honest discussion. Thank you so much, Tawanda. And that's really what it is about. It's about honesty. I'm here because I have a passion for telling stories across the diaspora. And I'm here because I love culture. So I'm one of those people who actually, I really just enjoy the various cultures. And I've always been that way. And so when I see a trend occurring, then I have a responsibility to speak up and to say something. It doesn't mean that it's happening in every single place, in every location, but I have seen enough of it to feel that it's worth speaking about. Now, I could bring videos, pictures, lives, and all of that because trust me, I did my homework, but I am not in the business of beefing. So I'm not going to sit here and call out anyone specifically. I don't do that. I talk about ideas and not necessarily people. And I'm someone who's in, for example, I'm very into IT. And so in IT, what you learn is you learn how to recognize patterns. You learn how to recognize trends. And this is the trend that I'm seeing. Okay, let's see. Briefing, by the way, is a human trait. Beefing. Tribes in Africa have been beefing for thousands of years. American Blacks have nothing to do with that. And other folks are beefing all the time. Very valid point, Oliver. Yes, absolutely. That's a valid point. Desmond, hi Desmond. He says, you've been out of here for a long time. Where have you been? I hope everything is fine. Yes, I took a little vacation. Thank you so much for caring about me. I am okay. Your girl is human and I just needed a break. I just needed some downtime to relax. I've done my best as a journalist to bring you all hard-hitting content. I'm always doing my best to elevate my levels. If you see my videos, I'm constantly getting better with editing and content creating. And so I felt like I earned a well-deserved break. I dropped 2 very important investigations last month. And guys, I don't know if you know, but it takes a lot out of you when you do investigations. You have to interview people, talk with people, put everything together, and it can be very taxing. So your girl DJ just needed some time to recharge, but I promise I won't just leave you like that again. When I'm taking a break, I'll let you know. I'm so happy to see everyone. Let's see. Tawanda says, you're very respectful. Exactly. And that is a key for me that I want you all to know. Respect is huge in African culture. And I would say I want Black Americans to begin to observe African culture and the degree of respect that is afforded in every culture. Because respect is the key to success in Africa. Without respect, people are not going to want to do business with you. Without respect, people are not going to want to sell you their land. You may get in now because people don't know the drama that you're bringing, the dysfunction that you're bringing, the headaches that you're bringing. But believe me, once you are settled in Africa and not just visiting and not just on vacation, once you are settled and established in Africa, that component of respect is going to be critical. So as I close, I'm going to just give a brief recap of what I'm saying. I'll take any questions and then I'll wrap up. The question is the diaspora bringing hate to Africa? I don't hear Africans talking about the white man. I don't hear it. I don't hear Africans talking about how they're so angry anytime another group comes and invests in Africa. I don't hear it. In fact, the contrary, Africa is looking, on the whole, is looking for investors because that's how Africa raises itself. Do you know? And check out the video I did on the real reason Twitter chose Ghana over Nigeria. Nigeria didn't say to Jack Dorsey, the president of Twitter, "Oh, you're not Ghanaian. Oh, I don't want you to bring IT here. I don't want you to bring jobs here. I don't want you to bring one of the largest social media platforms in the world to Ghana." No. The president of Ghana thanked him and lobbied for it, by the way. Ghana made a lot of moves low-key to tighten itself up so that it would be in the position to get that Twitter business. And guess what? It was smart. It was smart. So you have to remember, if the Ghanaians, for example, and we're just using Ghana as an example, if the Ghanaians are doing business with Europeans, with Twitter, how is a Black American coming to Africa with $5,000 going to tell Africans that they should not have investment from non-Black people? Does that make sense to you? I mean, if it makes sense to you, okay. But it doesn't make sense. I'm doing the math. I'm doing the math. But it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. So you are coming to Africa and telling the Africans to reject Europeans, to reject Arabs with $5,000? Oh, okay. And you yourself are still getting your stimulus check from those same Europeans. You yourself are still getting your retirement check from those same Europeans. Make it make sense. Let your girl know. Maybe I skipped, class on that day when we were talking about things like logic, things like business. Or maybe I'm just too logical. Maybe that's it. Let me catch up on some comments. Your girl, y'all got me cracking up. Chris says, one thing I love about you, DJ, is that you're very knowledgeable about the African continent and its culture. And you are right. Some AA make no effort to learn about African culture or languages. Exactly. You get it, Chris. You get it. And this is not a diss to my African American brothers and sisters. I love all people. I love my people. I love everyone. This is to say, guys, there's some dangerous mentalities that are taking hold, and it's not good. And other people are seeing it, and other people are saying it. And so I would rather, me as your Black American sister who wants to see you win, I want to see you win in Africa. I would rather you hear it from me than from someone on the outside, because once you hear it from the outside, it's not going to be nice. Let's see. All right. Human man. Hi, human man. Ken says, same way we welcome China on investment basis is the same way we welcome the diaspora. Exactly. So Nike's laughing. Chris says, DJ, why are some AA not learning about African culture and language before coming to Africa? That is a great question. And I'm going to tell you why. In America, in the Black community, a very anti-education mentality has taken root. There's no denying it. In America, in the Black community, it is not cool for folks to be educated. And it's a very sad thing to say. But even in school, you will have Black American children, if they are too smart, if they speak too well, if they get really good grades, they will be ostracized by other Black American children. And I'm not going to jump on a high horse, but I will say I've received so many derogatory comments from my own people. Why do you talk like that? Why do you sound like that? Oh, she thinks she's better. Oh, you must think you're too smart. And I've had that all my life. And I used to try to explain where I was coming from. And then once I got older, I just said, there's no need to explain, because people that choose to uphold ignorance, you can't explain anything to them. You know, I don't talk white. I talk like myself. I talk like DJ. This is who I am. I've had people even say they thought I was speaking with a fake voice. I've had that from my own people. And you have to ask yourself, what kind of people would be so dysfunctional that a woman sounding like a woman is strange to them? What people would be so dysfunctional that children getting educated, getting good grades is laughed at and made fun of instead of elevated? This is the dirty secret of Black American culture that Africans are going to soon find out. You're going to soon. Africans, I have interacted with Africans all my life. I've come into contact with them since I was a young girl, because I was fascinated by the cultures and the people, and not just Africans, all cultures, but especially Africans, Arabs, Europeans. I love culture, right? And so one thing that I know about African people is that education is on top. If you are in an African household, you're going to school. If you are in an African household, you're getting a degree. And what Africans are going to find with the Black Americans coming there is that there's going to be some incompatibility, because Black Americans as a whole, now let's remember, we are talking in generals, right? It's not going to be every single Black American. Understand that we're talking about group trends. As a whole, Black Americans have gone away from some of the values that we had when it came to education. If you look at the civil rights movement, we put education as number one. We fought to get schools integrated. We fought to go to universities. And even before then. But at some point between, I would say, the 60s and the 70s, and then on and so forth, Black Americans began to move away from education, began to move away from those values. And I have no shame in admitting I am one of those old school Black Americans who holds those values dear, whether it's popular or not. I'm not here for the popularity contest. I'm here to be true to myself and my people. My father was born in Turl, Arkansas, on a cotton field. Slavery was over. But back in those days, in the Jim Crow days, many Black people still lived on plantations, cotton fields, and other properties that once held slaves or enslaved people. Let me say enslaved people. So my father taught me about what it meant to grow up in Jim Crow South, where a Black person had to sit at the back of the bus. My father taught me about what it meant as a Black person when you bought land and the Ku Klux Klan came and burned your property to the ground. That happened in my family. So I know where my people come from. This was born in me. My passion for Blackness or for Africa or for culture, that was born in me. It's not something I studied. And so I'm going to continue to tell the stories of the diaspora. I'm going to continue to teach about history because it's important. And it's who I am. That's me. Let me catch up on some comments, any questions, and then we'll wrap up. Let's see. Lady of Class Thomas says, truth is being spoken. Listen, absolutely. EYB says, most ethnic groups come to Africa and don't learn the language of culture, so stop singling out AA. That's true, but AA are actually looking to be a part of Africa. That is why it's called the repatriation movement. If you're just going to Africa to visit and enjoy yourself or something like that, of course you're not going to learn the language. But for the Black Americans that are going to Africa because they want to live there, they want to intermarry, they want to be a part of the culture, they want citizenship. Citizenship is a privilege, not a right. There are obligations that come with citizenship. And if you want me to do a video on that in the future, let me know, because there is much more to citizenship than just liking a country. Okay, let's see. Ryan says, if your culture hasn't progressed as a race of people, you need to change it or upgrade. That goes for any group of people. That's true. And that's what I'm saying. Black Americans have a very special opportunity to go to Africa now and to fill in the gaps of Black American culture. Will we take everything? No. But can we learn some principles that would help us? Yes. And can we also take some of our culture that's good and that's healthy and share it with Africans? Yes. It has to be an exchange. All right. Diana Soleil says, I grew up with AA that thought education was a joke. Everything in class was a joke. She's not lying. This is what needs to be rooted out of Black American culture. Everything's funny. Everything's for jokes. Everything is roasting. Everything is arguing back and forth. And this is what I'm saying to my people. Black Americans, it's time to grow up. You're on the world stage. And what we do in the next 100 years can change this world for the better. The question is, will we take the opportunity? Very great comment, Diana. Very great comment. He who controls gold controls the power. All right. Hi, Eddie. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. He says you don't have to learn the indigenous languages as long as you're going to an English-speaking African country. Well, that's the thing. Africa is a very big continent, and I don't think Black Americans should limit themselves to English-speaking countries. That's why I want Black Americans to begin to learn multiple languages. Most ethnic groups in the world will acquire at least one additional language, especially if they're in a place where you have multiple borders. It cannot hurt Black Americans to begin to step our game up and learn some of these languages so that we can negotiate for ourselves instead of relying on others. You see, Eddie, you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach a man to fish, and he can feed himself for a lifetime. All right. Mamize, she says, we are school educated European. To me, we are not that smart. We need to change our education. Fair enough. But I can tell you, and I'm going to call out a very specific group. Nigerians are one of the most educated groups in the United States of America. I don't know what the school system is like in Nigeria, but whatever they are doing, it is incredible. Nigeria has produced so many doctors, lawyers, and engineers in America. I can't begin to tell you. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've been in school with Nigerians. I've been amongst Nigerians, and I can tell you, Nigerians have rightly earned their place as one of the most educated groups in the United States of America, and that is fact. Much admiration, DJ. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Oh, I missed you all. Let's see. Alex says we need to update our education system, but you will not be able to completely avoid European influence. Sources TV says come to Ghana. Your girl is saving up for her trip to Africa right now. I'm saving up for my trip to Africa right now. I've been putting a little bit of money away every week, and I'm very excited. Let's see. Okay. Whew. I got to catch up on these comments, guys. All right. That's right, DJ. Much admiration, similar family background. That's why on your behalf, I will not accept any disrespect. Yes. Thank you. No disrespect allowed. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Lady of Class says, don't let small minds convince you that your dreams are too big. All right. Say what says outside of America, most people speak 2 to 3 languages. Exactly. And this is what I'm saying. Black Americans, if you are serious about becoming global citizens, why not begin learning languages? Why not? You're saying that you don't want to be American, right? And I'm hearing that from some folks. I'm not one of them. I'm proud to be an American. I'm happy to be an American. I'm happy to be an African American. I'm happy to be a woman. There are many facets to any person's identity. And I believe that Black Americans believe that they have to be ashamed of being American. And it's the strangest thing in the world to me. You were born in America. You can reconnect your roots. But I will tell you this, my family, My family has fought for generations in this country. My family has shed blood in this country in every war. My family has fought in the movements of this country. And guess what? I'm not giving up my birthright. I'm coming for everything that belongs to me. And that is America and that's Africa. I am not one of those Black Americans who is ashamed to be American. And it's like, why would you be ashamed of who you are? You see, this is what I mean. Black Americans taking hate and dysfunction to Africa. There is no need for you to be ashamed. You have created some of the best music this world has seen, created jazz music, created hip hop. You have created some of the best cuisine this world has ever seen. Have you heard of the macaroni and cheese and the fried chicken and all the dishes that you created that they're eating over in France, over in Africa, over in South America? You have nothing to be ashamed of, Black Americans. Nothing to be ashamed of. Okay. Let's see. What African country has its official language as an African language? Very few. But if you want me to learn an African language, this is laughable. English, French, and Chinese will dominate Africa. You don't have to learn an African language if you don't want to, but I would say French would be a very good start for you to communicate. Absolutely. Alex says, don't learn an African language if you don't want, my friend. Nobody is forcing you. Wow. And Janice says, my daughters speak English first language, Igbo second, and French and Spanish. All right, everyone. So that's all that I wanted to share. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. Time flies when you're having fun, but I want to close on this note. First, let's get those likes up. Make sure you hit that like button, especially if you are enjoying this content. But I want to close on this. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. I'm going to repeat that. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. The ideologies, the beliefs, the thought processes that Black Americans have in America are not creating successful communities. Therefore, as we begin to travel to other places and as we begin to move among other groups of people, we're going to have to begin to shed some of those ideologies. We're going to have to begin to shed some of those thought processes. And we're going to have to become critical thinkers and not just emotional thinkers. So that's all I have to say about that. I'm going to call it here. If you would like, definitely feel free to hit up the Cashapp. I will put it on the screen one more time. Any donations and support of the channel is very much appreciated. I'm going to be scheduling some very hard-hitting content coming up, so make sure you are subscribed. Super chats are always welcome as well. No amount is too big or too small. And on that note, say goodbye to me and I will catch you on the next one. So I will leave this up for a moment for folks to say goodbye and ciao and all those great things. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. I'm going to get ready for lunch. Your girl's going to get her eat on. And I will see you on the next one. So say bye to me. And let me play a little music on our way out. I have some music going on. Can y'all hear that? Say goodbye to me. Hit the like button on your way out. Sharing is caring. Share with a friend. Bye. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.